Hello, Christmas buddies. Welcome to week 4 of our Christmas drawing camp. And welcome to December. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat, including my assistant. Today's an odd day. We're going to be making a snowflake, or maybe many snowflakes, because it's such a fun and easy thing to do, especially in Procreate, with the tools that we're going to be seeing. It's an odd day. As a snowflake, it's an odd day because tomorrow I'm going to go to my home country, Argentina, for the holidays. And so it's weird because I'm thinking of snow, but it's not going to be cold over there. So I'm going to have what feels normal to me for Christmas. Very nice weather. But yeah, as I was saying, it's an odd day because it's not a Wednesday. I had to make it a Tuesday because I had already planned that trip. Anyway, if anyone is coming across our workshop and you don't know what we're talking about, you can go to this URL to join us. We have a couple more weeks with free workshops. You can read all about it there. There are other workshops too, and I tend to do like something fun and easy in Procreate, and then always add some sort of like bonus, like a little animation and something extra. So you can always join us. It's also, you can find the link in the description as well. Super easy and it's really fun. Okay. And let's see. One more thing that I want to say before we get started. It's 23 days until Christmas. And that makes it 18 days until my birthday. So that's really cool. All right. We're going to get started. So the first there we go. The first snowflake that I want to make is the one that I made without any of the tools that I was just like mentioning. We're going to you have one of the goodies, actually the only goodie for this workshop, is the snowflake cookie. As we've been doing with all of these workshops, I say that we are kind of like decorating cookies. So it's really fun. You kind of like see it from a different perspective. So we're just going to use this one first, and then we're going to have fun creating more because snowflakes are super easy. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use the color palette from the very beginning. For the background, we're going to use that color as usual. That's kind of like an off-white. And then for the brush, for the snowflake cookie, we're going to use this color. It's right next to it. So let's see about the size. Okay. Let me explain what happened there. So I'm using the drawing assist that I shouldn't be using yet. I'm going to tell you all about it after we do this. So let me get rid of it. Okay, and now this should work. That was a strange, weird, like huge cookie. Anyway, this is about, let's see, 82%. We're going to try to put it in the middle, in the center. There we go. And for this one, we're just going to have fun. I'm not going to try to make it super symmetrical. I'm not going to try to make it, it's just going to be like a cookie. Just like if we had royal icing and a piping bag. Why do I put myself in these situations? Anyway. I actually know all of those terms, but I haven't done it in such a long time. Um, I did one of my Skillshare classes. I made a gingerbread house and many cookies with royal icing, and I knew all the terms for that, but some of them went away. Anyway, we're gonna create a new cookie, a new layer on top of the cookie, and we're gonna start, let's say, with that. So we're gonna go from the center out. Very simple. One line. Again, I'm trying to be free here. And then let's make a little dot there. This actually, like, seeing it this way is a bit easier. And now for, like, we're going to try to go, you see, like, for these little things that I made, we're going to try to cover them this way. I'm not going to know any of the terms, but maybe my Christmas buddies in the chat can help me. What would you call these? I don't want to say, this is supposed to be a snowflake, so it's like, it's not a petal. Okay, so we have 3, and let's try to actually make them that way as well. I have to say, like, speaking of Argentina, and going over there and snow, where am I going with this? I have mentioned this, I think, a few times, but basically, for me, snow is not common. In Buenos Aires, it doesn't really snow. It's like a rare occurrence when it happens. The last time that it happened was like in 2007, and before then it had been like 100 years or something. It's very rare. And so now living in the Hudson Valley, for me, is like, I feel like a kid, you know? Whenever I see snow, to me, is like one of my first experiences with it. By now I'm more used to it, but I'm always very excited about snow. Okay, before I continue with my story, let me tell you what I want to do. I want to add a couple more circles here. And I think for now we're going to leave it like that, because I want to take care of, we're going to use layers today in the proper way. We're going to use one layer per color. This is what I've been trying to teach you all along, and I always like end up complicating it because sometimes I like making sure that I have a lot of layers, just in case. I like, modifying some things. But in this case, because it's a simple illustration, I want to show you how you can use layers to your advantage, the way that you're supposed to. So basically, we're going to do the same thing that I just did for every little part of the snowflake. We could also, for example, duplicate and rotate. But as we've said also many times, it's not the best idea to touch too much your shapes in Procreate so that they don't lose quality. So let's just stay there and, again, treat it as a cookie. Going back to my snow story. So the first time that I actually saw snow was in the US, but it wasn't in the Hudson Valley. It was in, I want to say, I don't want to lie, but I want to say it was in Helen, Georgia. Because when I was a kid, we would go to Atlanta a lot, um, because my dad had to go on trips for work, and he had to go for a really long time. Like for me, it was ages when he went on his own. For me, I'm hoping like for me and my mom. Um, but you know what? When you're a kid, like time seems endless. So I think for me it was worse in a way because I really missed my dad. He would go sometimes for like 2 months at a time, and for me that was like years. Anyway, so when I wasn't in school, and my mom was a teacher, so when she also wasn't in school, we would go with him when we were both in, like during school break. um we would go with him. That happened to be in January and February for us. That's where school break happens. And so I don't remember if it was in Atlanta or in Helen. I did go to Helen. Is such a cute little town. I don't know. Are you aware of what I'm talking about? It's such a cute town. And we would always go there. uh, there would be a lot of Christmas markets and cute things, wintry things. And I think that that was probably the first time that I ever saw snow, when I was 11. Do you remember when the first time that you saw snow was? A lot of you here were probably really, really young. Um, okay. So we have three. Let me see if we can, in fact, here duplicate and flip. Because if we don't move it too much, we may be able to just do it. But it doesn't fit because I didn't create this. Yeah, let's just keep going. Story time. I didn't make this cookie to be super symmetrical. So it's kind of like on purpose. Anyway, I was like really excited about the snow. I took a million pictures. I don't think I'm going to be able to find them though, because those pictures are at home. I will be able to show them to you once I'm in Argentina. I'll probably put them in the community space, but I have not digitized a lot of pictures. That's always like a to-do thing. It would be a good idea. I'm not too concerned about pictures, actually. I like having them in albums, photo albums, but the thing that I am concerned about is all the tapes that I have from my childhood that I have not digitized. I hope that they're still good. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. I don't have the digital version. Anyway, so that was my snow story. Then later on in life, I think this, apart from Atlanta, the other place where I saw snow was in Bariloche in the south of Argentina. But that was when I was like 17. That was like the end of year, no, graduation trip from graduation from high school. We do trips. Do you do that here? Like when you finish high school, do you go on a trip together? We do that, and maybe it's not there anymore, but That's kind of like the tradition. I don't know why. Like every school goes to Bariloche, which is like a great place. I wish I could go back now that I'm a bit older to appreciate the, you know, the beauty of the whole place. I do remember going on one of those um, chairs. Uh, you will help me out. I want to say flying chairs. That's amazing. Um, and I, I remember the previous. We were so lucky. The previous day, there had been a snowstorm, and so it was so like everything was so white and covered in. It was. It looked very fluffy. It was perfect for the prompt snow kiss town. It would have been perfect for that. Okay, we have the white layer. Speaking of uh, white town and snow and scene scenery, um, you see, it doesn't like it's not symmetrical, and that part we're not gonna care about too much because there's another thing coming up. We're gonna make another layer on top, and the center is going to be this color, this pink, kind of like maybe that one is too dark. Let's do this one, the one that's right next to it. As I always say, in case someone is new, what you can do when you have already created a shape or drawn something, you want to change the color, you activate alpha lock. That's activated. You can do it with your fingers. You have to make sure that the background is like checkered. And then you go to fill layer. Is that the same color? Oh, I guess that is the pink. Okay, I thought that it was too dark. Okay, so we're going to just make a little dot, the center, and then actually under that with green, we're going to create. These are like petals. I want them to be between, you see, those white things. We're going to make them green first, and then we're going to add a few more details at the very end. So I was talking about those like snow chairs. Why can't I think of the name of this? You know what I'm talking about? Those chairs that bring you up to like the top of the mountain so that you can ski down. That was actually the first time that I skied. I had so much fun with it. I wish I don't remember if I did it again now that I'm thinking about it. It was so much fun. I loved it. The only thing that I didn't love about actually any of those experiences is how cold I felt. But when there's snow, I kind of forget about that. I don't care too much because to me snow is so much fun. Another thing that I love about and that I appreciate a lot about when it snows is around here it actually looks like a snow globe sometimes because of like how the wind carries all the flurries and the snow. It's really beautiful. Sometimes I just like watch it happen. I don't know if it's something about the Hudson Valley or if it's just like a thing that happens everywhere that snows, but I have seen it here. something about like how you feel like engulfed by the snow. Um, yeah. So there we have our little flower in the center. Uh, Maybe like I would like for some of these to be a bit shorter. Maybe that's better. Um, and then the final thing that I want to do, we can touch up a few of the lines, going back to that layer. If they're too thin. Okay. And the last thing, actually a couple more things. Let me go back to the pink layer over here. And we're going to add a couple of dots to the sides of each of the tips. Let's see. One more. How many does it have? Oh, 6. It has 6. Okay. That's why I can't use the tool in Procreate that I was talking about. You'll see why in a little bit. And then we're going to add dots over here. And finally, we're going to go to the white layer and add a few more details to the flower. We need, okay, this is why I keep like adding layers. We need to add it on top because I want it on top of the green. Well, there it is. That's why I can never follow the proper way of using layers. Do you have like a cool snow story? We talked about making snowman before. Do you have like a a falling story? Like, did you ever fall in a non, in a funny way, not like a traumatic experience? Hopefully. I don't remember falling um in the snow, at least. I tend to be like, this is like a weird, I have 2 weird fun facts about myself and I guess falling. um I'm not too clumsy, and so I don't really fall. I don't want to say ever. I mean, everyone falls, but I fall very rarely. But I do trip a lot. I trip a lot. And like, it's funny because I don't want to fall. I will like continue this story in a moment. I just want to like this is our snowflake. We have one. Now, we have very few layers here, so I want to combine them and hide them, actually with this one too, because I want to make more snowflakes. I want to make a few, I want to show you, and then we're going to make a little animation. As usual, we have a little bonus. Anyway, going back to my weird facts, we're gonna always make the cookie first and then the decorations. Let me see. I have a few ideas for what we could make. Okay. So for this, I have put a pin on the falling story. It's that, and it's also like getting caught. I'm gonna say those things because no one can remind me right now in the chat, and so I need to remind myself. Okay, we're gonna go to use the special tool for snowflakes. We're gonna go to it's gonna be drawing guide, so you have to activate it, and then edit drawing guide. We have seen this before, but we're gonna take a look again. We're gonna go to symmetry and options, and we have a few, but for now we're going to use radial. And I also want to use rotational symmetry, and make sure that that is activated too, the assisted drawing. If not, we can do it from the layer. So that's all we need done. Let me actually, yeah, okay. I just wanted to check that it was actually like in the center. I want it to be in the center. You see, the layer has to say assisted. If it doesn't, then you're going to have to go to draw and assist over here and activate it. Okay. So, following story. We're gonna start doing something like that, but properly. Actually, like, I don't remember how to have the grid on for this, because we have a grid there, but I don't know why it's not showing up here. Maybe I can correct myself in the chat. Sometimes it would be helpful to have the grid, because I mean, if I do that, let's see. Yeah, it's not going to allow me to. That's weird. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. So let's like create something like this. Let's see. I may actually, let me try one thing. Let me see one thing here. No, I do prefer the rotational stuff. Okay. So I do tend to like fall in a very sorry, not fall, trip. I tend to trip in a very funny way. You see, like it's super easy to make snowflake. Let's do it again. Okay. Oh, and by the way, every time that you create a new layer, you're gonna have to activate the drawing assist. Actually, that's a cool one for like, it doesn't look like a snowflake, but it looks like a cool thing to color. If you want, you can also duplicate and then clear the layer, and you're gonna have the drawing assist activated. Anyway, I think I don't know why I'm making it more complicated than it is. And so I'm making the tripping story too long. And so many times my ankles look like, I don't want to say something that will make you squeamish, but everyone says, doesn't that hurt? But it doesn't. I will try it without the rotational thing to see something, because I think I like the rotational symmetry for the inside, so for what would be the royal icing, but for the cookie I think I don't like it. I think that's what the problem is. maybe. I'm still not convinced. And now I feel like it went to a different one. Um instead of radial. Why is it not like I always have so much fun with this. Well, let's just leave it the way that it is. Don't pay attention to all of my changes. We're gonna go back to the beginning. Okay, let's just make something like this. We have our cookie. And now we're going to play inside. So for that, I'm going to, again, activate the drawing assist. And with white, we're going to work on the real icing. Now this part is so cool. I want to make it a bit thinner. Isn't that like extremely satisfying? Yeah, so as I was saying, like I don't fall, but it's very funny to see me trip. And another thing that happens is I get stuck in, for example, with the doorknob. There is no way that I could get stuck, but I will get stuck. So, for example, I don't have like, say, if I'm carrying like a handbag, this has nothing to do with snow, but I wanted to say it. Let's, by the way, keep that one there, and we're going to create a new one so that I can create while I tell you the story. I have like a sweater on, and it just gets stuck somehow. And I have no idea why, like how, but if I'm near a doorknob or anything that where something could potentially get stuck, it will get stuck. I don't know if anyone else is like me. Let me know, but that is one of the fun facts that I have. I feel like there are a million ways of making a snowflake. You can just like, isn't it kind of like fingerprints or something that they're like all different? Like another thing that I love, I wanted to say it before I think I went on one of my tangents. Another thing that I like about snowflakes is when you see them in your, like it falls, is you see them on your, say, your hand or your glove, because I love, I need to use gloves when it's snowing. And you actually see the shape of the snowflake. It's so cool. It's not like a little like lump of snow. It's the actual snowflake. Isn't that the coolest thing? Okay, let's do maybe a couple more just for the fun of it, and then we're gonna work on that animation. Oh, another one that I like is this. This is why I wanted the rotational symmetry. So we have to activate drawing assist, and then doing something like that is cool. And a lot of dots as usual. That makes it super cool. And the good thing about this symmetry is that you don't have to make too many of them. You don't have to spend too much time on them. You just like make a few and you have a ton, which in my case is really cool. I mean, it's like very helpful because I love dots, as you know. That doesn't look too much like a snowflake, but it's like a cool kind of drawing. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Maybe like add some other colors. And you can make other shapes like for the cookie itself. Maybe something with holly leaves. Because I think like they would, yeah, they would fit in there. So maybe like, let's not forget the drawing assist. So like, what if we make something like that? That could be a, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to go for it. Poinsettia? Something like this. That flower. I hope that it's wrong so that it's funny. um okay. And then let's like add white that way. Then on top of that, we're going to, well, we can add a few dots. We can actually add dots all around it to make it cuter. This is another one of the things that I love doing with royal icing. Definitely not easy. Not easy. It's kind of like a dangerous game because it's like so close. It can merge and then it looks weird. But still fun. Okay, with this color in a new layer, we're going to, and let's remember the drawing assist. We're going to make the flower. I love that. That's so easy. That took like nothing. And then with the lighter color, we're going to make a few lines inside. And maybe with this off-white, if you like, oh, I may not need the drawing assist for this. Let's see. Maybe it makes it more complicated. I just want, oh, that's fine. I wanted like a few dots. And then what else do we need? Actually, maybe like let's go back to the flower and I want to add a little line there. All right. And the holly leaves. So for this, I would want another layer. Let's remember drawing assist. Okay. This tool is like really great. Whenever you want to like do something fast, you can have so many snowflakes and ornaments. This is also really cool for ornaments. All right. I think, yeah, we can also, the cool thing is that you can also erase whatever you don't like from all of them, which is great. And if you don't like, let's say for whatever reason you don't like one of them, you just deactivate the drawing assist and get rid of that one specifically. Okay, a couple more steps for this. We are going to turn this one into alpha lock to add a few lines inside, maybe thinner lines for the holly leaves. And a couple of berries. This will need to be on top. She's always going to forget the drawing assist. Okay. And maybe like over here too, because it's looking a bit bare. Okay, that looks cute. It's a cute snowflake. Um, and let's make the bonus animation because we have a few more minutes. This one I think is really cool. I think you're gonna like it. Let me see one thing. Okay. So for this, what we want to do is, let me see if we can use the same. Maybe I just want, actually, let's just go to a new canvas. We're going to create a canvas from the beginning, 3000 by 3000 pixels. As I always say, it's better to work big and then have a high quality image for like just in case. And then create a new layer or the first layer with, as usual, that color for the cookie. We're going to go to drawing guide, edit drawing guide, symmetry, options, radial, rotational, done. So we did this a few times now. I think that you're going to get the hang of it. And for this, we're just going to make something like that. Those like inner lines are not going to matter because I'm going to fill it in with color. Maybe I want it a bit longer. So let's go again. Okay. It doesn't want to. Let's create a new one. A new layer. I want something a bit longer than that. Maybe, wait, I don't understand like what's going on. It won't let me, that's weird. It won't let me undo. That's strange. Is it because it's assisted? Because there's no way for me to undo. That's strange. I guess that's a thing to keep in mind. Or I'm doing something. There's some bug in Procreate. Okay. So we have this. Okay, I think then we can do what I wanted to do. I think this is kind of like a better shape. Let's see. Because I want it to have like longer tips, if you will. We can play around with like each of them. I think that's fine. Okay, so we have our cookie. Then what we are going to do is we're going to draw something like this. Let me see. With this new color that you're going to find in the color palette in the goodies, we're going to try to, again, activate drawing assist, and we're going to draw inside of this. Again, kind of like as if we're using royal icing. And then we're going to fill it in with color. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is on top of this, we're going to forget for a moment about what we just did. In order to forget, we're going to hide. I actually don't want to forget like fully. I want to make sure that like I can see a little bit where I'm working. So I want to create the following. I want to why is she making it so complicated? Why is she talking in the third person? I wanted to make it like the sort of reveal, but it doesn't matter. Let's make it normal. So we're going to do a clipping mask if you haven't realized yet. I'm gonna create a new layer on top of this blue one, make it into a clipping mask, and with white, I'm going to start drawing. So for this, we don't need drawing assist, by the way. We shouldn't use drawing assist. We're going to create a line like this and make sure that by tapping, make sure that it's fully like horizontal. And instead of doing that, interesting. We can't undo. I must have touched something. I want to make sure that I filled in the whole thing. So let me see for a moment. Yes. Okay. We want to fill in the whole bottom part. With a clipping mask, we're just going to, you know that by now you know, but just in case you're new, with a clipping mask, what's going to happen is that whatever you draw in the new layer, you're going to be able to see only the part that's contained in the shape that's clipped right under. Or yeah, it's like this works as a mask for this illustration that you're making here, whatever you're drawing. Okay, so we're going to make a cute little cabin. This is like super simple, as I always say. Let's see. I had a few things that I wanted to show you to get inspired, but I don't think we're gonna have time today. Actually, we may have a few minutes. I'm gonna draw the cabin and then I may show you like a few of those pictures, because I always want to show you things to keep getting inspired. And I hope you're gonna add some of the animations that we've been learning to your own illustrations for the prompts. Just a few tiles as usual. We want a little bit of smoke. We want a few clouds, but you see, like, we do need to see where we are. So I am going to unclip it because I do want to make sure that what I'm drawing is complete. It's not going to be enough to have only the parts within the mask for this. You're going to see why soon. That is the reveal. That is the part that I want to keep a secret. Some of you may remember where this inspiration came from. If you do, when I'm done, you're gonna let me know. Okay, we have a few clouds. We have a few stars or snow. There's maybe snow. And we can make a few pine trees. Let's not remember that the house needs to have a couple of windows. I'm just making for the house, for that window. Let's do it again. I just wanted to make a circle and then erase those lines to make it into a little window. And then for the door, something like that. And then a tiny window over here, a few lines. It's like a very delicate kind of cabin, nothing too detailed. Then for this pine tree, maybe we can make it a bit bigger. I want to make also one over here. And finally, a little path. So I always like, and a few pine trees, but now with blue, so that we can actually see them in this like very snowy scene. If you don't want to make it like that, you can always make something like this. I still try to. I'm still trying to undo. I don't understand why I can't. I feel like now I'm working analog because I cannot undo. This is the strangest thing. I have no idea why. Is it still? Let's see what happens if I deactivate that. No, it won't let me. I have no idea what I did. I'm sure I'll find out. Maybe something like that works better, like a little hill. Okay. I want to be able to do the animation. Well, if we don't get to see what I wanted to show you, then we do have more workshops. So no worries. Okay, I think that's good. We can add, if you want, another cloud over here, because I want to show you what's going to happen with this. Okay, we're going to go back to clip and mask. And now what we're going to do is we're going to group it. It all has to be in one layer, in one group, because as we have seen a few times, when you start animating something, you do want to have either one layer or a group of layers so that you can have one frame. Otherwise, things are going to look like they're going to be split apart, and you need the full illustration to show to be contained in each frame so that it makes sense. Okay, we're going to duplicate the full group, and we're going to let's see. We're going to rotate. No, we're not going to rotate. We're going to rotate it, but manually. A little bit. I think there's an easier way to do this. But unfortunately, I don't know why I can't undo. Anyway, we're going to do it manually. What you see there is called onion skin. It's so that you can see where the other frame is for comparison. Okay. That may be like too far. We wanna be a bit more subtle. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to duplicate this group. And we're going to, again, rotate both of them. We're going to do it again. And this is going to happen a few times. You can also do that, by the way. If you want it to be the exact same thing, you can just like make it, let's say, well, I'm gonna keep doing it manually because for whatever reason it went back. Let's see. I think I moved it. We don't have undo, but we do have reset, so that's nice. The idea is to be able to have enough frames so that we can do the full, basically like connect these two. But let's see if we have enough layers available for this. Okay. A little bit more. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave the inspiration pictures for next time. But I hope you liked the animation, or that you're going to like it. One last one. Then it connects, you see. And let's see how it looks. So we have all of our, now it's like a full circle. We're going to go to settings, and it's going to be, it may have to be either a loop or a ping pong thing, as I always say. But we are going to make it way slower than that. So why don't we try first with 3 frames per second and see what happens. Okay, played. I love this part because you never know what's going to happen. I love that because it like kind of reveals different parts of like the little town. You can make it you know, a bit more you can hide things somewhere in this so that it'll show up when you're turning. You can make it a bit fast. Well, you can make it ping pong, or you can make it a bit faster, like this, so that it looks a bit more. It flows more. And then another thing that I'm not going to be able to add now to all of them, but one thing that I wanted to add, you would add it in the very beginning, is again little dots. So you're only going to be able to see it in one of them now, but I think it looks cute. Or even if you don't add them there, they could even be like, they would have to be there. Well, anyway, you get the point. But you see, they don't show up because they would have to be in every single one of the frames. Anyway, I hope you liked it. That was fun. We did a few snowflakes. We did an animation. Let's see them again. I don't remember them now. We have this one. I can actually combine it so that I have it in one single group. We have that one. We have this. We have a few of them. And then you can, add different colors and make them a bit more complex on different layers. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a lot of snow stories. You remembered a lot of funny stories. And thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun and you learned. I'll see you next time and I'll show you more inspiration pictures in the community space.